Okay. So, we always start off with the lecture portion before we get into the food, right? And the eating and the Q&A and all that. So, I have 2 demonstrations that I've done with you all before for the OGs that are here. And for the newbies that are here, everybody can still learn to see if the OGs remember. Let's see if y'all remember. Hey, y'all, welcome. We're just getting started. Have missed a thing. I literally just started. Literally. Congratulations to them, y'all. They just renewed their vows. They just got remarried. And it's her birthday on Wednesday. And anniversary. Okay. I'm going to start with one example. We'll go to the other example and then come back to this one. So I know some of y'all will recognize this. So let's see if you can remember the why, which is always the most important thing. All right. So here, I've wasted my money on buying white bread. Okay. You see the sacrifices I do for you all? Okay. I bought white bread. This 99-cent loaf of bread. Okay. This is what most Americans like to eat. They don't like to eat whole wheat or whole grains. Then here we have some whole grain bread. All right. Here we have something else I would never spend my money on, orange juice. Now, even though this is no sugar added, the fact that it's been pasteurized, most of the vitamin C complex has been wiped out because of the heat of pasteurization. So all the benefits you think you're getting, you're not. It's going to spike your blood sugar. There's no pulp. Then there's no fiber to help keep that stable. So this is just, if you choose to drink, this is an indulgence, okay? Juice your own oranges with the pulp if you want to drink it. But this is going to stimulate our stomach acid because our stomach acid is acidic. That's what helps break down the food once we swallow it, right? So I'm going to pour our stomach acid, our orange juice, over this white bread here. And I'm going to pour this orange juice over our whole grain bread here. I'm going to let that sit for 5 minutes. We're going to come back and we're going to discuss that. Meanwhile, here comes this other example. Now, my beautiful sister friend here, Rashidat, as I was preparing for another class we did this morning, I asked her, I said, I need you to get me 2 white flowers from the grocery store. Cheap as can be, whatever, I just need 2 white flowers. So these are the 2 white flowers she purchased, and these other pretty flowers came with it. I put one in plain water, and I put one in water with green food dye. So this is to simulate why you should always buy and eat organic foods, okay? So I have here, this is my spray bottle when I comb my locks, finger comb my locks in the morning, okay? It's just water, all right? But we're gonna pretend that this is pesticide. This is rodenticide, insecticide, all the insecticide crap that they spray on the food. So remember, the guy that walks through the field spraying, he is suited and booted with the mask on. The planes that fly overhead and put all that pesticides, the pilot is suited and booted. And they're doing this. They're spraying the crops, okay? Spraying the crops. Now, us people, humans, have 4 ways to eliminate. What are the 4 ways that we eliminate? Sweat through your skin, yes. Urine via your kidneys, yes. Huh? Bowels via your liver, yes. What's the 4th way? Exhaling through your lungs. Those are the 4 ways that humans are able to eliminate. How does a plant eliminate? When this is happening, what's happening? I'm spraying the poison on the plant, right? What happens? Well, it has to, anything that is going to get absorbed has to go into the ground and it has to come up through the stem, right? So when you don't buy organic and you say, I'm going to spend my 20 cents per pound and be cheap and I'm just going to wash it off, you can't wash it off because what's happened to this white flour? Can you wash this off? You can't wash this off. It's in the plant. Now, does it mean that if something topical is sprayed on, you can't help, you can wash some of it out? You can. But the majority of the crap is literally in the food. It's in the food. And it's in the food for a couple of reasons. Human cells and plant cells look pretty similar. The one big difference is there's something called a vacuole. It's a very large portion of a cell that a plant has. So when they put these poisons on the plants, I call them poisons, they call them pesticides, and it doesn't have enough time to go all the way back down and go back into the dirt. So that's because that's the only way it can expel things. It will put them inside the cell wall called the vacuole so that it doesn't disrupt the pH and it doesn't kill the plant. That's why it's in the food. That's why you spend the extra 20 cents per pound to buy the organic parsley or cilantro or strawberries or blueberries. That's why you do it. You're not washing off really anything significant. It's already covered in wax anyway. So if you take the meat, cheese, dairy, eggs, and other crap out your cart, you'll have the money for the extra 20 cents per pound for the organic. Okay? So don't say you can't afford it. Check your cart. If you got a box of Oreos, take them out. Take it out. Okay? You can afford it. So that is always a good visual. And this was put in water. I did this like 8 p.m. last night. 8 p.m. It's just food coloring, y'all. It's food coloring. This plant can't. It can't. And so when you see flowers in those exotic colors, that's how they do them. They don't grow naturally in those wild colors. That's how they do it. Okay? And you can't wash it off. That's the whole point.
So I just get me some white flowers and some dye and it's give it to you and says a colorful flower.
You can.
A lot of people don't know this example, so I ain't telling you.
You save some money. Yeah. Does that make the point of why you should buy organic? So I see my OGs are looking like, y'all forgot this? Y'all forgot this? But that's okay if you did. It's a good reminder. So don't cheap out in the produce section. And organic for everything. So if you decide to use canned beans, which I really don't like to do, they have organic. If you decide to buy seasonings and not make your own, they have organic. Everything comes in organic. Now, if it is a true money issue, there is a group called the Environmental Working Group, and every year they come out with a clean 15 and a dirty dozen. What does that really mean? The dirty dozen mean these are the top 12 crops that are the most heavily sprayed with the crap. Okay, and for the past 6 years, number one's been strawberries. And there's blueberries and then kale and all the, yes. So that means if it's on the dirty dozen list, buy it organic. And if you're having a money issue, and only if it's a money issue, not if you're just being cheap now, okay? Invest in yourself. Because if you don't pay now, you're going to pay later, okay? If it's on the clean 15, that means it's the least sprayed crop, okay? And those tend to be things with peels, like an orange or in pineapple, the things where you typically don't eat the peels. It's still in there now. It's still in the plant. But it's less sprayed on it than like collard greens or kale, because it's sprayed directly on the part that you actually eat. Okay? EWG, Environmental Working Group. You can go to ewg.org. They have the 2023 list out. Well, now it's 2024. 2024 list should be coming out soon. I think they bring it out in March, but the 2023 list is out. And if you want to do yourself one better, most of the things that are on the Dirty Dozen list, you can actually grow yourself on a tower garden. So you all know that I do sell those, and I'm not saying it just to sell them. I'm saying that because you can actually have fully organic plants that taste way better. They're full of all the nutrients, and you can grow it yourself at home for the cost of seeds and water. And you can skip worrying about this. Okay, that's why my husband and I invested in one, so that we could actually have organic plants, fruits, and vegetables, and we don't have to worry about that. And Denise is here. She's my boss in that area, so she can give you some tips on that as well if you want to understand more about that. But it's really important to source your produce and know where it's coming from. If you go to the farmer's market, you can talk to the farmer. They'll tell you, hey, I just picked this last night. I just picked this 2 days ago, and we use neem oil as our pesticide to get rid of bugs, which is an organic way. Talk to your farmer. Know where your food comes from. Don't think it just appears on your plate. And don't turn a blind eye, because, again, if you don't pay now, you're going to pay later. Okay? Okay. All right. I think I made that point. Y'all got quiet on me. All right. So I'm going to go back to the other point. So we have our bread here that's been soaking. So now we have our white bread. And let's see what happens with the white bread. And I'm not adding any pressure. It just falls apart. So it just gets a gloopy mess. Ugh. Okay. What happens to our whole grain bread? Okay. So in terms of your body, what does that mean? And I put more orange juice in this one. What does it mean between that and this? Okay, I heard Yvonne say that the white bread is going to absorb faster. Absorb what faster?
The flour, the yeast, and all that good stuff that bread has. It's nasty.
You are very, very warm. So very, very warm. Almost like you just one word off. So the white bread has been stripped of most of its nutrients. It's got barely any fiber. That's why it just falls apart. Okay? So when you eat this in your body, it's going to absorb very quickly, which is going to spike your blood sugar, right? And then you're going to be hungrier faster. Whereas this, when you eat this, you're going to be much fuller for longer. It's not going to spike your blood sugar because it's going to be slowly released. Okay? This is why you want whole grains, things that have not been adulterated by modern farming practices. They take all the nutrition out. All the nutrition is in the brand. All the nutrition is what makes brown rice good. That's what makes all those things good. You've become accustomed to eating the stripped down versions of it. But you get new taste buds every 2 to 3 weeks, and you can learn to like these things for you. Your body will thank you. Your digestive system will thank you, because if you're eating things like this, you're going to eliminate properly. This is going to gum you up. If you eat 3 major meals a day, meaning like you eat a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner a day, you should be having 3 bowel movements a day. If you're eating this, you're probably not. You're probably not. And I know too many people that go days without having a bowel movement. You should be eliminating every day for every major meal. And if you're just having a snack or an orange, no. But if you eat 2 major meals a day or 1 major meal a day, that's how many bowel movements you should have. Because your bowel transit time should be between 14 to 18 hours if everything's working properly. If you want to know how long your bowel transit time is, you can eat a piece of a corn kernel and see from the time you swallow to the time it comes out how long that takes. And that's your bowel transit time. That's how I test. You'll see how long it takes. So if it takes longer than 18 hours, maybe even let's say 20 hours, you got some stuff. So something's not flowing properly in there. Okay. That's the ideal time. Nothing less than 4. If it goes through by less than 14, that's too fast. That means you're not absorbing the nutrients. It goes by too far, everything's fermented, and when it does come out, it smells horrible, and you still don't feel like you've eliminated everything, and you're still bloated, and you probably have a lot of flatulence. So it means different things depending on how long. So the ideal amount of time is like really 18 hours, but as low as 14, as high as 20. It should be in that range.
Wait a minute. If you're eating 3 meals a day, then you're overlapping these 18 hours.
Correct. That means by the time you eat this meal, the meal that's from 14 to 18 hours ago should be coming out. It should not be stockpiling in your in your digestive tract. That happens to most people, and that's why they have so many stomach and digestive issues, because it's just food just sitting in there, rotting, literally rotting. And then when you go to if someone goes in the bathroom right behind you've done number 2, they know you've done number 2. You should know. It should come out fast. It should have any smell. You should be able to wipe once, and that's it. If you have to keep wiping and wiping, and it smells horrible and all that, stuff is not right in there. It's what you're eating, and it's what's not coming out. And that means you're not eating enough fiber. You're definitely not eating enough fruits and vegetables. You're definitely not hydrated enough. That's what that tells me automatically off gate before they say anything else. They can give you all these pills and all that crap, but this is what it comes down to. You're getting your fiber from French fries and hamburger buns, and not from whole sources and fruits and vegetables. That's what it means.
Gluten glue.
This is literally glue. It's literally glue. So, what do y'all think?
Wonderful. Thank you for the refresher.
It's been 3 years
I know.
since I did this.
I think, oh God, I'm not so
And this is, of course, is not to shame anybody. It's you got to have the knowledge so that you can do better, right? Because if you don't know, you think you're right. Or when they say, oh, you've only gone 2 days without elimination, that's okay. That's not okay. It's okay if you're eating the standard American diet and you're on the pills and you don't drink any water, and you drink sweet tea all day, you eat Bojangles. Yes, then yeah, that's to be expected. Okay? But if you're trying because you're here in this class, so you care about your health, you care about getting on a better path, so you have the awareness. That way, if you do go off track a little bit, you have the knowledge to know, hey, I know better. I'm choosing to have an indulgent day, but I know how to get back on track. Okay? And that's what this class is for. I'm not here to, I'm just here to provide the information. Okay, so hopefully that point was hit hard. And feel free, yes, you all can order food if you're hungry before, during, or after class. Not required, but more than, someone thought I'll be offended. No. I'm grateful that they let us use this space, and he does not charge us to use this space. So feel free to indulge, okay? All right, so I spent that 99 cents on this bread to make this point, okay? So this is going in the trash. I made the point. Made the point. Unless you want some Elmer's glue. Huh? Yeah, put that in the trash too.
Annie, that's why you can take that bread and smash it down to nothing. There's no fiber.
There's no fiber. There's no nutrients whatsoever. It's just the glue. Okay. Any questions before we get into the cooking? Let's see, what time is it? Because we're ahead of schedule. Any questions? Hey, Darlene, welcome. Now, as luck would have it, or may not have it, every week that we've been here, I tell you all that there's a friend that made it my mission that every time I have class, that I must have something sweet. And every week I've done that except for this week, and she shows up to this class today. Sharon. So don't hate me today, Sharon. I've been doing well. I've had a dessert every week, just not today. But I will next week. Okay, so because we're just taking it back, we're doing a level set. We have old faces and new faces, so we kind of want to level set everything. We just finished up our diabetes module for the first month of classes. So this next month of class, I'm doing Nutrition 101. So I'm just taking us back, making sure we're all on the same page before I go back down my rabbit holes again that I tend to do. All right. So since for the ones who know me or know the recipes, I don't know why, but I'm semi-famous for this kale salad. I mean, yeah, it does taste good. I just don't get. It's so simple. It's so simple, but the way y'all talk about it, it makes it seem like it's extraordinary. So we're going to review that. So these recipes, because again, this is from 3 years ago, they're on my website, but they're way down. If you're on your phone, you got to scroll to the bottom of the recipe section. You'll see the 2 recipes we're doing today, plus the salad dressing recipe. If you don't want to make this particular garlic vinaigrette, which is fine, you can use whatever vinaigrette you wish. I just encourage you not to use a cream-based dressing, no ranch, no whatever. No cheese for sure. Okay, God. No. Y'all already know. Okay. So here, because I was fortunate enough to present this similar lesson this morning at Mount Carmel Church for 150 people. Biggest class I've ever done. So my tower garden did not produce enough for 150 people. So went to Harris Teeter and bought this. All right, so this is organic kale, USDA certified organic kale. And I like this one also because they already have the matchstick carrots in there and a little bit of red cabbage. So it just adds a little bit of color, right? Because typically I always bought or just did the kale and I would add those other things in myself. Let's see. I'm going to get these bowls passed out because I already know how y'all do. Okay. I already know. It's right here. And those spoons are right there. All right. And the only other thing I add to the salad, I add organic dried wild blueberries. Sometimes I add dried cherries, but I prefer the mixture of blueberries specifically. Right here in this bag. So I have this bag of kale, and now I'm going to add, this is a little bit too small of a bowl. I'm gonna try to make it work. All right, add in the blueberries. Then have the dressing. And now what's the next thing I'm gonna do? Okay, I'm gonna massage it. Now why am I going to massage it? Release the oils? Huh? It does relax it. What's another way to say it? It tenderizes it, yes. So we are breaking down the cell walls, which does what two things? Huh? It removes the bitterness when you break down the cell walls, yes. And what else does it do? You're able to digest it much easier because we've massaged it. And the kale talks to you. I got these huge gloves on, Lord. The kale talks to you because it'll turn this beautiful bright green when it's ready. Now, like I've told you all before, put your love and intention into it when you're massaging. Don't just do it just like, let me just get this done. Okay? Have positive attitude. And instruct it that's going to be helpful to the bodies that are going to consume it. Okay. All right. So I know we're at that halfway point in class where y'all start to doze off. So here's your first snack. We have some kale salad, okay? My husband's making sure everyone has a bowl, and then we'll come around and get the salad. And we'll move on to our next dish. It's a garlic vinaigrette. It's just apple cider vinegar, olive oil, some Italian seasoning, and pickled garlic cloves. And then the key for this one, I let it sit for like 2 or 3 days so that it's not so acidic. That wait time really makes a difference. Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, for me, it's too bright. Yeah. Okay. Yvonne just asked a question. She's asking if I could explain why it's so important to chew your food at least 15 times. Let's ask the class first before and see who recalls. Why should we masticate a minimum of 15 times? We really should be double that, but bare minimum of 15. Hopefully you're doing that now.
Less work for your stomach to digest.
So that it can do what? You're warm. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so when you're not in a rush and scoffing down food down the gullet, right? All right, your body already has to do a lot of different things. If you're eating food that's hot or cold, your body has to normalize the temperature to 98.7. So that takes energy, right? Then because you didn't take the time to even chew your food, it's got to take your enzymes that are, as you get older, get lower and break it down. And break it down to the point so you can actually absorb the nutrients in your small intestines where that happens. So if you help your body out and thoroughly masticate, thoroughly chew your food until it's a liquid in your mouth, which is called the bolus, it becomes chyme when it gets down into your stomach. When that happens and it goes through and goes down to your small intestine, then you can actually absorb far more nutrients, and you'll be fuller quicker. You'll have more satiation, so you'll overall eat less. Okay, so it's for several reasons that you want to do that. That makes sense? Do y'all recall that? Yes. Okay, thank you for letting me sit down for a second. All right, so now we're going to get to our main dish. Again, this is another one from 3 years ago, like from our reset. We did a butternut squash chili, right, for those who recall. All right, and so for those who don't know, this is a butternut squash. Okay, when you see this, it's butternut squash. Doesn't mean it's sweet because it's called butternut. I can't remember the reason why it's called butternut. But if you wanted to save money and not buy it pre-chopped, because pre-chopped's typically not organic, you would take a peeler first and peel the skin. Then you would take your knife and cut it here just above the bulb. And so you have the neck and you have the bulb. In the bulb, you have seeds that you can roast and have like a pumpkin seed type thing and season them up. Or you can discard. And then you just chop. And you have your butternut squash. So all that fun part I just explained was already done through the magic of television. Okay? We have that here for you. All right. So that's quite hot.
You know, Amy, I have another way of doing that. That's hard, because that thing is hard to cut.
Yeah, you can put it in the oven first and then do the stuff afterwards. You can do that.
What I do, put it in the oven, put some oil on it, and cover with aluminum.
Yep. Not directly with aluminum foil though, right?
I forgot, I should have said the paper.
Parchment paper.
Parchment paper. My bad. I'm still stuck on aluminum, but I'm getting these out.
That's right.
And then I do it like a sweet potato, then I peel it and then take everything out. 1, 2, 3.
That's perfect. It's perfect.
Now,
If you have a proper chef's knife, this thing should be able to slice no issue. If you have a cheap knife that's dull, the most dangerous tool in your kitchen is a dull knife. Okay, so if you have a dull knife, which mostly probably all of you all do, it's going to be very difficult to cut this. This is nothing to cut if you have a sharp knife and keep it sharp. Okay, so invest in a chef's knife. It's just your arm. It's an extension of your hand. Yes, Darlene?
I tried something different.
Uh-oh.
My arthritis stuff was cooking for Christmas dinner or something I was cooking for.
Uh-huh.
I so happened to have a acorn squash.
Yeah.
I put it in some water
Uh-huh.
and put some broth on it, like vegetable broth, and I boiled it until it got soft and let it cool off. And I just
Peeled it off.
open it up and you just could skin it. I just did try it on.
And it's delicious. You can do that with all the squash, the kombucha squash, acorn squash, spaghetti squash, butternut squash.
It was like really safe arthritis. So.
We can talk about the arthritis too. That's another rabbit hole I'm happy to jump down. We can definitely go there in a second since we're ahead of schedule. Okay, so to make this chili is a dump and go chili. So today I picked up the wrong bottle of oil. This is olive oil. You know I don't cook with olive oil. This is supposed to have been grapeseed oil. So that's why I had to turn the temperature down so it does not smoke. I added in 1.5 tablespoons of oil. I'm adding oil in this recipe because you all know, or for the ones who may not know, I'm very conscious about the oil we use in a recipe. Very conscious about that.
Can I ask a question since you stirred around?
Yeah.
So if we decided to roast our butternut squash with rapeseed oil, as Yvonne said, then I would probably water saute it so that I'm not adding more oil on top of the roasting it. Is that what you would say?
No, not quite. If we take Yvonne's technique, if you roast your butternut squash first, you would add it in after everything's cooked, because otherwise it's going to be super mushy. That's what we don't want because it's a lot of water in it. So you would do everything else after it's roasted, add it in.
Okay, but then you would still water saute it instead of putting oil because she's had oil in the roast?
No, I'm adding oil because there's no fat in this recipe. Okay, the only thing that has fat in it is the tofu that we're going to talk about. But if I was adding like a cashew cream or something like that to add fat to it, then I would be water sauteing the aromatics. So here I have some diced up celery and onion and a little bit of carrot. And what's that combination called? Who recalls? Mirepoix. Yeah, okay. So all right, something is sticking. Something is sticking. Mirepoix. That is 1 part carrot, 1 part celery, 2 parts onion. That's called a mirepoix. And you can buy these pre-cut or you can do it yourself and freeze it up and have it for meal prep. Now, if you take just a tiny little pinch of salt when the aromatics are cooking, it will release the additional water in there and help it to caramelize. All right, so now that this is in the, I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. Okay. So while that's swimming, having a good time, who remembers how I like to cut bell pepper? Who recalls? Hey, Ramona. Okay. Cut the bottom off. And I like to do that. You see how I just went through like paper? Because you can see everything. Those little pith and stuff right there, you can cut right around it. So I can just go straight down. Bam. It's gone. You don't have to worry about it. Everything's gone. Now, I hear some of you all say, I've heard you all in the class say, look, this is too much chopping. Okay, you can buy it pre-chopped, you can buy it frozen. And what I do sometimes, because I'm sure you all have seen the big scar I have on my arm, or I have some nerve damage in my right hand, I have this chopper. I love it. Okay, and we're done. Yeah, I got this from Target or Walmart or whatever. It was less than $20. These were $15 or $20. I can't remember. Okay, and that's it. Huh? If you just want to be quick, I mean, that didn't even take a minute. Okay, so that's done. Save you time. Same thing with the onions, carrots, and celery. You can do the same thing with the chopper. You don't have to sit there and do all that. All right, so we're going to let that chill and hang out. Now the next thing I'm going to do, put this other glove on, is take the tofu. So the tofu, I added it to this recipe for a reason. Butternut squash is super healthy for you, and it's very low in calories. So if we want this to be a full meal, it has to have substantive calories so that you actually feel full and not be like, okay, I ate rabbit food. All right, so I added the tofu for the additional protein and fat to make it substantive. It's not for flavor or anything like that. You won't even really know what's in there. So it's going to crumble it up with my hands. You can use a meat masher if you want to, or you can use a food processor if you want to crumble it. But just doing it with your hands is very quick. I use Superphone. I'll show it to you in just a second here. Here's it crumbled. This is the one I used. It's $3 in a grocery store, any grocery store. This is super firm tofu, and any soy product you buy for human consumption in a grocery store is automatically going to be organic. But if you eat fast food burgers, it's not organic. Okay. All right. So we're going to just toss that around. And again, this is just to add bulk and substance to it. And then we're going to add in our chopped butternut squash. And from our conversation last week, was last week Super Bowl? Yeah. Okay. Okay. We talked a little bit about, I'm such a sports fan, right? I have no idea. I don't even know who won or anything, who played. Okay, this color orange or red, what vitamin is present when we see that color? What is that good for? We discussed this last week. I heard somebody say it. Beta carotene? Yes, beta carotene and vitamin A. And vitamin A is what kind of vitamin? Uh-oh. Someone got away. Huh? You said what, Yvonne? It surely is a good vitamin. It is a fat-soluble vitamin, yes. What are the other 3 fat-soluble vitamins as I add in this canned tomatoes? A and E are 2 of the 4, yes. K. What's one more? What's the last one? D. So ADEK is the short form of it. ADEK. ADEK. Those are your fat-soluble vitamins, meaning that, so for example, in the salad you just ate, anything you see that's dark green leafy vegetables, that's your vitamin K. Vitamin K is fat-soluble, and that's why you tend to see vinaigrettes on a salad, so that you can absorb all the fat-soluble nutrients. If you put something that didn't have fat on it, or you just put a squeeze of lemon juice on, which is totally fine, you would not be able to absorb all that because of the fat-soluble vitamin versus a water-soluble vitamin. What's an example of a water-soluble vitamin? C. Any other ones? Well, there are lots of them, but name another one. Water-soluble vitamin. B, your B complex. That's why you have to replenish it on a daily basis because you pee it out, versus fat-soluble builds up. You don't have to replenish it every day. Okay? That's why when you're low on energy, especially if you're those coffee drinkers in the building, when you drink coffee, it wipes out your B complex and your magnesium stores. That's why you don't have any energy and you feel like you drink more coffee, but you're doing it in reverse. Okay, so now we're going to add some chili seasoning. Now again, for you all, it's mild. It's mild. Okay, and this is organic as well. It's right beside the regular stuff. All right, so I'm going to mix this around thoroughly. Now for a chili, I like to serve this over a plain baked potato or over wild rice to make it last longer as like a meal prep, or you can eat it as is. So you can make it as thick or thin as you want. You can add water to this. I think on the recipe I have a 1.5 cups of water. If you wanted to eat it as a bowl of chili versus putting it on something. You can also put this in a taco as well if you so choose. Just going to put a little bit of cracked black pepper. Some onion powder, or granules in this case. And some garlic powder. Put a little extra because I ran out of the fresh garlic. And then we're going to put in about a teaspoon of cinnamon. Cinnamon as a depth of flavor is great for savory and sweet applications.
Now I know what to do with my squash, 'cause I was wondering what to do with it.
So I'm going to toss this to make sure all the seasoning is thoroughly on everything. And let's see. I just need a little bit of water. Oh, no, I got it. So I'm also going to add in this can of beans. You can use canned beans if you want. Yes, and you can use whatever bean you want. You can use red kidney beans, black beans, whatever bean floats your boat works. Okay. So we got our protein from the tofu and the black beans. We have all these veggies in here, and we've got lots of good seasoning in here. So the only thing left, I'm going to add some Better Than bouillon. It's my favorite. And I think the Maggie's for the Nigerian recipes. You'll have that tomorrow for your dinner. But you can get the vegetable kind, but they also have a no beef kind and a no chicken kind. And let me just tell you, it's the exact label of the chicken kind and the beef kind. And they're side by side. I've accidentally bought the beef and chicken one because they're literally side by side. You think you're picking up one as the other. And they're organic. Okay, they have it in organic. So it'll say no beef base, no chicken base. And it'll be right beside the one that says chicken base, beef base. So you just gotta look. There's no distinction. So since I haven't opened this one yet and the beef one's already open, yeah.
What's the name? Is that the Better Than?
Better Than bouillon is the brand name. And they have so many flavors. So in terms of the vegan side, they have mushroom, caramelized onion. They've got the vegetable, the no beef, the no chicken. They've got, I said mushroom already, and onion. They've got garlic, roasted garlic. They have Italian herb. They have so many, and they're delicious. Yep, the vegetable one's great. Okay, so I'm going to put about 1.5 tablespoons. Okay, that's a tablespoon. I'll put another half in there of seasoning. And then we're going to let this just cook down for just a few minutes. In this chili, I actually have started liking eating it with the butternut squash al dente because it's more of gives it like a toothsome feel. Or you can go ahead and cook it all the way like you normally would squash and have it soft because most chili is all soft anyway. So it's whatever you prefer. So y'all about to be eating in a second, okay?
That's a quick meal. I can do that.
Yeah, start to finish. The only thing, crap, I used it all this morning. I would add, once this is finished cooking, is some fresh cilantro on top. You always got to add something fresh to something when you're cooking something to death. Always have a fresh element.
Is this recipe in our,
It's on the website.
is it on the website?
Yep, it's at the very bottom. It's the first recipe I ever put on there. So it's at the scroll to the very bottom is there from 3 years ago.
That's an old recipe.
Yeah, this is an OG recipe when I first started the cooking class 3 years ago. I think it's one of the first ones I did.
You mean I've been coming for 3 years?
You came, yeah, you've been coming for 2.5. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But it works. I'm learning. Taste buds. I lost so much weight. I had to change my clothes. I got to buy some clothes. I don't fit the clothes. I look too big in them.
All good problems.
Yes, and I thank you so much.
Yvonne, you're so kind. You're so kind.
And I got the towel too.
Oh, you got the Tower Garden?
The vegetables on that towel garden.
Congratulations.
All right, they give me some lettuce, and it can go 3-4 lettuce. So go 3-4 heads. You can taste the difference between the one you buy. I go right to it, put it right in the pot. Go right in there, give me some. What I want, some time. I gotta move this stuff out the way to see what I want.
That's good problems.
And you can put it on payment plans if you can't afford it. Because I did it on payment plans. It took a year, but it's mine.
That's right.
So Annie, I have a question. So if someone was interested in getting a tower garden,
Uh-huh.
how could they do that?
They could talk to me, you, or Denise after class, and we can get you signed up with one.
You can talk to Annie.
Yes, yes. So while this is so this has to cook for just like 5 to 7 minutes, and it's done. It's really done. That's it. So, any questions you all have? I know y'all ready to eat, but talk about. Okay. Okay, let me try. Andy, don't go down the rabbit hole. I'm very passionate about this. Okay, so I'll start with something we have talked about and back into it. When we talk about cilantro, and I say when you hear, hey guys, when you hear about any food, something should come to mind. Like when you think of butternut squash, you should think of vitamin A, right? When you think of cilantro, what should you think of? What does this help get rid of?
Metals in your body.
Heavy metals.
Girl, you did it.
Okay, so the heavy metals. So how this starts in your body is inflammation. So the heavy metals, if heavy metals tend to form, stay in your body near your thyroid, then you have low functioning thyroid, which can turn to Hashimoto's. If the heavy metals deposit themselves in the joints, it becomes inflamed, and then it ultimately can become arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis in the joints. If it gets into the myelin sheath or into the nervous system, that becomes multiple sclerosis. All the inflammation points are usually have a heavy metal component to it. This is also in addition to intestinal permeability issues, digestive issues. There's other components to it, but just speaking from the heavy metal perspective for the joints, for example. So you want to make sure that you're detoxing on a regular basis and eating foods that actually strip your body of those excessive heavy metals. Now, what's an example of a heavy metal? Let me try to stand up again. I'm telling y'all my leg. It's okay? You sure? Okay. Okay. Thank you for the grace. It's hurting today. Nope. We need iron. No, we need that. Well, we need all these, but when we say heavy metals, hey guys, how y'all doing? When we say heavy metals, it's the ones that we don't need in a large amount, like a tiny bit goes a long way, and anything over that is considered heavy metal to the body, which is what it's like starts to cause yes, lead is one, but it's not one of the main ones. I think somebody just said it. I think somebody just said like one of the biggest ones, the biggest offender.
Chicken?
For heavy metals. For heavy metals. Remember, because we use parchment paper instead of aluminum. Okay? Aluminum is a heavy metal. So when you're wrapping up your corn on the cob and your baked potato right on that aluminum, you're eating right out of it, you don't think little traces of aluminum is getting inside your body, okay? Because it is. And you've been doing that your whole life, so it bioaccumulates over time, and it deposits in different places in your body, and it shows itself in different ways. Like I said, it can deposit in your joints, it can deposit in your thyroid, it can deposit in your nervous system, it can deposit in your breast, it can deposit in so many different places, okay? And then it will show up as inflammation initially, and then it goes on and on and on and on because you haven't addressed it and you're still eating the same crap. That's why I tell you, if you want to still cook with aluminum, you can, but have your food directly touching the parchment, the unbleached parchment paper, and then put the aluminum around it so you're not consuming that, okay? Because it is a heavy metal. If you're using antiperspirant, especially if you're not eating clean and your poop still stink and your sweat still stinks, and then you put on antiperspirant and it's blocking your lymphatic glands to cleanse it out, there's aluminum in your deodorant, okay? At least get aluminum free. If you're not going to do antiperspirant, because you can just do lime juice or lemon juice or eat clean, you won't stink at all, okay? You don't even need deodorant. that's an option too. Make sure your deodorant is aluminum free. Aluminum is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's a heavy metal. And then when it crosses the blood-brain barrier, that's another reason why people suffer with Alzheimer's. Okay, on top of it being a type of diabetes, because normally it's associated with high blood sugar, but the heavy metals. It's great, and nothing sticks to it. You don't have to clean it. You don't have to clean it. I'm starting to smell something. I think we have like 2-3 more minutes. Is there another question I can answer in this amount of time? Or Darlene, did I answer it? Because I can go way deeper, but I'll do a whole class on that and with a handout. Okay.
So how do you start getting rid of this heavy metal or the arthritis that you have in your body?
So you're asking for a detox. You're asking for my personal protocol, Yvonne, to share publicly on YouTube. I can do parts of that. Actually, first of all, it's a whole class, and we will talk about that. But the main thing is, remember those 4 elimination channels that we talked about that the human body has?
Yeah.
What were those 4 again? I can't remember. Our breath. Yeah, that was one. I remember that. Sweat. Yep. Bowels and urine. Now, remember when I said the first time, I said the associated organ of elimination, right? So if we said sweat is via what organ? It's skin, which is the largest organ of the body, okay? And then when you said breath, that was via what organ? Lungs, okay? And then when you said urination, that's via what organ? Kidneys, yep. They're in charge. Your urinary bladder and kidneys are kind of a duo thing. And then for defecation, it's via what organ? Because it produces the bile. Not the colon. Liver. Okay, those are your major elimination. There's some other elimination organs, but those are your 4 major elimination organs of the body. Okay, so if I say all that to say in a short way, Yvonne, if you are eliminating via those 4 channels on a daily basis, you're doing something on a daily basis to keep things expelling from you, because we live in a toxic world. You can't be perfect, right? So if you're eating clean and you have good habits, then you're exercising those 4 channels of elimination on a daily basis, you're doing very well. Now to go on a deeper level and do an actual detox, which is different from a cleanse, because cells detox, the body cleanses, 2 totally different operations, then that's something we'll talk about. Yeah. Okay. We're just going back to our nutrition 101 for this month to just level set, since we have so many new faces join the class now. Okay. Did that answer everybody's question? Yes, Darlene?
Are you still taking questions?
Yes. Yep.
It just so happened that this is the perfect day for you to be here.
I can't hear you.
It just so happened it was the perfect day for you to be here because I had bought butternut squash and didn't know how to make it healthy because I'm used to using cream in it to make it richer for taste. So it was perfect day because I had been having a craving for butternut. What causes us to crave for certain vegetables, such like butternut?
When you have any type of craving, period, no matter what it is, your body's telling you it's missing a nutrient that it's asking you to get. And whatever it's asking you to get, it's going to ask for you to get it in the most nutrient-dense form that it can be absorbed as quickly as possible. Meaning that if you are low on magnesium, it might tell you consume lots of chocolate, okay? because it knows you get that. It's lots of calories. It's lots of fuel. Calories is what? What does calories mean? Energy. Okay, fuel for the body. So it's going to ask in the most powerful way to get the most bang for its buck to get it in as quickly as possible. So you think you're craving chocolate, but it's not that. It doesn't care if you eat chocolate. It needs the nutrients. So it depends on what you're craving. If you're craving salty foods or fried foods, you're missing chromium. Like, it just tells me, it tells someone what you're missing in your diet on a regular basis. So that's what it is. So even if you're craving good things, they're saying it needs more of those good things. Okay, I'm just.
Say if I'm craving chicken and ice cream. It's telling me I need the chicken and ice cream.
It's telling you if you're craving the chicken, you need to eat. Well, one, you're missing some nutrients. Okay, you're probably low on vitamin D. That's what it's going to tell me. You're probably low on chromium. You're probably there's several things with that because you have two different combinations happening right there.
I picked up lately, so I know the beets is for the iron. I know the beets is for the iron, and it's good, rich for the blood, for your
Brush it
blood.
out. Can you give me a bottle of water?
Been craving those fruit vegetables.
Yeah, your body is talking to you all the time. We have just been so disconnected from what our bodies are saying to us because we turned our health care over to doctors thinking they're gods and telling you about your own body and not learning how the body actually works and is designed to heal itself. If you just tune in, it's constantly talking to you and telling you what is good and what is not good. We just have to get back to that, and that's what this class hopes. Thank you so very much.
Well, that's probably why I started feeling, that way, being that I've been coming here. It's talking to me, my body's talking to me more, and I'm hearing it.
That's the key. That is the key.
The health key right there. Because my body was talking when I came to a class and said, look how good I look at all the stuff I've been trying to lose weight, taking everything under the sun. All I had to do was listen to my body and eat the right food.
Yeah, you don't have to do, what's it, Ozempic and what's this other thing? What's this other thing they have out? Something else.
Keto and all that, keto, nasty,
I don't know the drug names, but even if, because all drugs have side effects, even if you don't have symptoms of it, it's still doing damage to your body. It's still doing damage to your organs. And this has been proven through autopsy. This is not any's personal opinion. Okay, I think we're about there. Okay, I'm not mad at that. Of course, I would like to add some heat.
But we ate it already. Wasn't that this?
You just had salad. You have to have the chili now. Oh, he passed it out.
I said we doing seconds?
Oh,
I don't mind the second either way.
okay.
Making a third.
My husband's ahead of the game. He's on it.
Your husband forgot. We love you, baby.
Oh, they said you forgot him up here tomorrow. How you gonna forget them? You hear that?
We did the first round.
That's cool. So, okay. So you've had the chili, you've had the kale salad. What are your thoughts for those who haven't had it in 3 years? It's very simple to make. It's very simple. It's very healthy. One bowl, one serving is 10 ounces, so it's like just over a cup of chili. It's like 330 calories. You can eat as much chili as you want, okay? And then especially if you serve it over like wild rice, it's gonna stretch out even further. It freezes very well, it stores well in the fridge, so you can make a big batch and just have it tucked away for a day you don't feel like cooking. Okay? So that's it. I didn't realize they had already eaten.
Except for two.
Except for two.
Now, Annie, I have one more question.
Yes.
Can you explain about the heat and why it's necessary that some have some?
Okay, so we do have a question here. We have a question of explaining why you should not have baby mouth. No. what she actually says, why you should want to increase your tolerance of being able to eat foods that are deemed spicy. So anytime there's a herbal formulation, there's always a catalyst. And so a catalyst is something that tends, in this way, is hot. It drives the nutrients into the cell. So when you're able to build up your tolerance, not that you have to have Nigerian spice level, okay, I'm not saying that, but if you can just handle a teaspoon or a half a teaspoon of cayenne or something, it acts as a catalyst to help drive the nutrients in the cell, because our food is medicine. And so we need that balance, just like you need to enjoy the taste of bitter, just as you do sweet. We need that because the bitter stimulates the bile, it stimulates bowel production. You need all these balances in place. So you need to also be able to handle heat. Can't just be sweet and mild. You need that balance, okay? So it's going to help absorb the nutrients better. It's going to drive it into the cell better, and you're going to have better energy. So like I said, you don't have to have super hot tolerance for heat. You just got to be able to add a little bit of spice, and whatever that little bit is for you, do that, and just try to push yourself a little bit more. You know, just add a quarter teaspoon more than what you did before to build it up.
Amy, why do you think that they don't sell as much bitters here in the United States as they do across the waters?
It is a travesty. So the question that Margaret just asked, what is my personal opinion, that's what I believe you're asking, of why bitters aren't as big here in the United States as they are across the world. Digestive bitters are huge everywhere else you go in the world. You can spray on your tongue, or you drink it, or it's part of the meal. You sip it before and after you drink, because it stimulates that fire to break down the food. But here in the United States, with the standard American diet, the SAD diet, everything's about fat, sugar, and salt, tasting sweet, you've been trained to what tastes good, and so you shy away from anything that's bitter. You don't want to eat any bitter greens. I don't like kale. I don't like arugula. Why? Why don't you like it? When's the last time you ate it?
Sugar, salt,
Because it's not covered in sugar, salt, all the crap. It's not deep fried. It's not brown. Okay, all those things. You've been conditioned, you've been marketed to, so that they can say, okay, now that you feel like crap, we've got a pill for you that you can take for the rest of your life. Okay, so digestive bitters are really great. I actually make some. I don't ever really sell them in this class, but you can make your own as well. There are lots of herbs that are really good for digestive fire. You spray your tongue, and when you spray, particularly in the back of your mouth, that's where your receptor sites are for that. Your mouth will become salivated, and it immediately talks to your stomach, and it starts firing off your pancreas, and everything starts firing off those digestive enzymes. And you'll like the taste of it, like it's a balance. So then when you eat enough bitter, you're not going to want so much sweet. I've talked to you about that, Sharon. You'll want way less sugar because you have a balance. But when you're always eating sugar, you never have any bitter, you're going to keep wanting more and more and more sugar. Want it to be more and more sweet, and then that's when you're in that refined sugar category. Okay? And that's not good for us. There's no nutrients. It's not going to help you at all. Okay?
Some bitters other than that black seed.
See how she said it? The face. Okay, there are lots of herbs. Gentian's a good digestive bitter. Gentian, G-E-N-T-I-A-N. Really, start off with anything. You can just use orange peels. Okay, orange peels are in digestive bitter formulations. Peppermint, those are the kindergarten level digestive bitters. Huh? Peppermint and orange peels. Huh?
Peppermint green, the actual green,
Yeah.
and not the candy.
Oh, no. Not the confection. Oh, that did not even cross my mind. I'm never talking about refined sugar, ever. unless I specify it like that. Absolutely not. No, I'm talking about the plant peppermint and dried orange peels or lemon peels. That's like the intro level of a digestive bitter that you can do. That helps. But anything that stimulates that, there's a lot, you can just eat, like I said, like arugula or any bitter green. There are lots of bitter greens that you can eat that you should incorporate. You can, if it's too much, add spinach or something to it that doesn't have any real flavor to help you consume it. Right, but you need to have that balance. We don't have balance in the United States because it's been engineered. All the food's been, it's chemicals and it's been engineered. They have food scientists that go to say, all right, let's put fat and sugar and salt together. And like I've told you all many, many times, in nature, there is not one fruit or grain or vegetable that has all three. Okay, an avocado has fat. Does not have sugar. Does not, okay. There's nothing that has all three, because and that's when you get all three, that's why it's addictive. And then they deep fry it, and then they put chemicals on it that replicate what you like, and then you're hooked on it, you don't even know why. Like, why do I keep eating this whole bag of Doritos? Why do I keep eating all this whole box of Oreos? Why do I keep doing it? Because it's been engineered for you to like it, because it's combining things that are not natural in nature of things that you like. Fat, sugar, and salt. Yes. It's a manufactured craving to keep the business alive. Okay? They study this. It's been studied. So then when you go and eat natural whole foods, you're like, ugh. Okay. That's why your taste buds change every 2 to 3 weeks. So if you give yourself grace, instead of telling yourself you don't like something, you've been trained to like something else that's not natural. Train your taste buds, your body, and thank your body to like true whole foods that are grown from the ground or from a plant or from a tree or bush or whatever that's been grown, not raised. Grown. Okay? Any other questions or comments before we wrap up?
Comment, they call it vegan too.
Huh?
They call it vegan too. I mean, they use those buzzwords, so they use it, if it's gluten-free water. Come on, I mean, why would they say that? Because it's catching your eyes, right? I know, I'm just saying, it's marketing, it's all marketing. So watch what it says. It can be vegan, but it's all the sad American diet way. Does it make sense?
They make it sexy, they make it seductive. They use the buzzwords, all those things. And like you all know, I personally really hate the word vegan, okay? I hate it for several reasons. Because one, when I'm providing food because I realized with my sister today, I don't have apart from my husband, none of my friends, none of my family, no one's vegan. Even though I'm always cranking out, doing all these classes, preparing all this food, no one's vegan. They're like, I'll eat if you cook it, but then I'm going to go to Bojangles, right? That's what that's what happens. And it's like, just think about that, like, am I doing a good job? Because I'm not. But where was I going with that? Where would you? Okay, yes. So when I provide food, so people who are not aware of this kind of lifestyle, soon they hear vegan, like, oh no, I want real food, I want flavor, right? Assuming that it doesn't have that. And then on the other hand, just because something is vegan, they think it's healthy. And it's not. Like I said, there's so many vegan junk foods. Like I said, Oreos are vegan. Most of the candies are vegan. If it's not milk chocolate, if this is like regular candy, most of that's vegan. Most of these cookies and cakes and all that crap, most of that's vegan. It is not healthy. And anything, if your plate is still brown and deep fried, it is not healthy. Okay, you saw that white bread that completely disintegrated. If you're still eating vegan hamburgers on white bread, it is not healthy. Okay, it's just not. Does that mean that you cannot have an occasional indulgence? No problem. As long as your indulgence is 20% or less of what you're eating. Okay, because what I see with a lot of clients, they think they're having indulgences, but they're staples. Okay, your staples should be 80% or more of what you eat. Your indulgences should be 20% or less of what you eat. So like once a month or once a quarter, if you want to have a Beyond Burger, if you want to, whatever, okay, do it. But your staple should be whole food, plant-based, and hydration, drinking your water.
Beyond Burger's not plant-based?
Yeah, it is.
So it's good.
It is a transitional food, and it has its rightful place. But to call it a health food is not.
Well, there's rightful places in my deep freezers. I don't understand.
You can, use it as an indulgence, right? Is it slightly better than eating the animal? And of course, there's no cruelty associated with it, so that's always a big win for me personally. But apart from the cruelty part, is it slightly better than eating a beef burger? Yeah. Is it actually? It's chemical. It's highly, highly processed. If you want to make a burger, you make a black bean burger, make a lentil burger, make a mushroom burger, make something that's made from all whole food ingredients, and do that. Okay, if you feel like you want to have a burger in that sense. It's glue. If I have an indulgence, if I do Beyond, if I pick one, it's Beyond, because At least they're not made with genetically modified ingredients. They are non-GMO, whereas Impossible meats they say on the label that they use genetically modified ingredients. And I don't care what it is. If it's GMO, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Huh?
I didn't pick up on it, that there was a difference between the two. You said Incredible and Beyond. There's a difference between
Beyond is made with non-GMO ingredients, and the owner of the company said a couple months ago they're working on an organic version of it. Impossible is made with genetically modified ingredients. And no. For me, if you choose to do that as your indulgence, that's what you choose. It's fine. Yep. Any other questions or comments? Okay, I see I guess we did have to go back to the basics. Yeah, a refresher, because y'all looking like this is new information for a lot of this. And it's not. Well, again, because this is a recipe I did from 3 years ago in class, it's the first recipe on my website, so you scroll all the way down to the bottom. The kale recipe, the kale salad and the salad dress recipe are also on there. And I can't remember if I put it on there because I wasn't as detailed back then. When you make the dressing, to me, I let it sit for like 2 days before I use it because it's just too bright, in my opinion. So that's it. But yeah, there's so many dump and go recipes. It tastes like chili, but without all the crap. You don't have to have the sour cream and the bacon bits and all the stuff. Just focus on. Oh, look at y'all salivating at that. Look at that. Okay, are there any other questions or comments? Y'all getting out here early. I've been on a roll. Yeah, we've been talking. Okay, I will resume, especially since Sharon is back. We'll be back to having our mandatory dessert at every class. Okay, that's whole food plant-based. Okay. Oh, great. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. Yeah. And I guess I have one more announcement to make. Coming soon, March 15th, Daniel Stowe Botanical Gardens, they're opening up the Trailhead store, and they've hired yours truly to be the plant-based chef to provide all of their food. So it will be there. Yeah. So I'll be providing the desserts, like the cookies and the brownies and all the indulgences. And then the grab-and-go food items. So I'll put up, Yeah, they have stuff going all the time. They're going to have even more stuff now because of the store opening. So, yep, that has been in the works, Daniel Stowe Botanical Gardens. It is absolutely beautiful. The grounds, if you've never been there, Damon and I are members there. So that'll be another outlet. So if you feel like I've got to have Annie's food, you can go there, okay? Yeah, I think that's it. We will be here next Sunday from 3 to 5. I encourage you all to tell a friend, let the class grow because we have the space better here than we did at Eastway. The owner said that if we need more capacity, he could bring in more tables and chairs and make it more intimate, okay? But yeah, I just want the information to be out there. So as always, I'm grateful for you all to come out. Thank you so very much. And I will see y'all next Sunday at 3 o'clock, okay? Love y'all, okay?